All right, let's see what they got. This is from a year ago. It's called Childhood. Oh, okay. The first thing I noticed, besides the bunch of potentially naked people we just saw, this song's called Childhood. To me, and I think childhood and nostalgia and going back a couple decades, the first thing I notice is the ratio of the screen. See how small it is. It doesn't fill the screen. It's not a 16:9 ratio. This is a 4:3 ratio, which for a lot of us that grew up with analog childhoods and then had like digital adolescent years or digital adulthoods, we remember TVs and screens being this ratio.
Staying up late at night, imagining all kinds of settings, dreaming about my life. Everything seems so possible then. Now I don't even dream. Sick of feeling low again.
Ooh, chills.
Saying that I'm the one, thinking the world revolved around me, hoping for someone to come and save me from this story. Now I don't even need. Sick of waiting on my dream. Don't forget when you're a child. 시간이 흘러도 let it stay in your mind. Don't live your life like you have 1,000 years.
Wow.
Ready for you to waste your time on regrets. Don't you ever, you'll never.
Already, this is beautiful. This is breathtaking.
잊고 살지 마. 네 머릿속에 있던 꿈들 더 되묻지 마. 세상이 너를 더럽혀도 빼앗기지 마. 그 맑고 순수했던 동심을. Don't forget when you're a child. 시간이 흘러도 let it stay in your mind. Don't live your life like you have 1,000 years. Ready for you to waste your time on regrets. Don't you ever, you will never know. Should've never gave it up. Should've never said I can't. Judging me for who I am. Should've never listened, no. Should've followed my own dreams. It's better late than never. Don't forget when you're a child. 시간이 흘러도 let it stay in your mind. Don't live your life like you have 1,000 years. Ready for you to waste your time on regrets. Don't you ever, you will never know.
Wow. My thoughts. Shut up. That's what I'm talking about. Underrated. Oh, there's so much beautiful to this video.
Ready for you.
First of all, the softness of the music coupled with Woo-sung's voice through the majority of it. But then we have some incredible harmonies later on, which you feel this song. And if there's one thing that The Rose is so good about, it's about creating this music. And you think about it, The Rose is a band. They are playing the instruments, right? So to create a feel is a lot trickier than just a producer laying tracks down and trying to find the right thing. They have to write all that stuff and then compose it in a very specific way. So that's another layer of complexity that The Rose really does well with. And then you take Woo-sung's incredible voice. The music in itself and the words, the message is... It's perfect. It's perfect. But visually... Ugh. You notice every single shot in this nearly 5-minute video is out in nature. Everything. There's no behind the scenes where we see them with the cameras. We don't see them with phones. None of that shit. This is all natural. We're in the woods. We're in the plains. We're in the water. There's a lot of subtext to these shots that mean something. They all support the story of the song, the message as a whole, even down to the fact that the dancers are as nude as you can be within reason of a standard video. Now we're gonna go from this shot here with them in clothes pretty quickly to seeing them in the woods and kind of stripped down. And if there's one thing I can say about this song is about being stripped down. It's called childhood. It's about getting back to your roots, about back to the simplicity that it was essentially to feel like a child and have that imagination. And how as an adult, as we progress through life, we start to really collect things. We start to collect all types of baggage and memories and all the stuff that can really take away that innocence.
Staying late at night.
And I do think that this going with them, the four of them clothed in white, which is also significant because it shows like a level of purity, right? They go into the woods. And at some point, they're going to strip down. So this is a transition that's happening.
And in all kinds of settings, dreaming about my life. Everything seems so possible then. Now I don't even...
And this is kind of a birth in a way. If you see this, they're all in this position. They're starting to kind of like come to life. And I don't know about you. I know we all come from literally different areas of the world, but this scene right here, I mean, aside from the mostly naked people, this is pretty much what my backyard looked like. This is why for the first 15 years of my life, I lived in the woods. Now, I'm not saying I didn't have a home, but like as a kid, this is where I lived. So this really resonates with me.
Sick of feeling low again. Saying that I'm the one, thinking the world revolves.
I will also say, and this is just me, but it really made me happy that some of the dancers were a lot more average sized than we tend to see with dancers. That made me really happy.
Around me, hoping for someone to
Now, I say average sized. I'm talking about, in my country, the average size of a person. I know it doesn't say much, but that's what I was referring to.
Save me from this story. Now I don't even need. Sick of waiting on my dream. Don't forget when you're a child. 시간이 흘러도 let it stay in your mind.
See, and this might be a stretch, but I feel like these scenes here where we're starting to see some people dance, some people not, they're all kind of doing something similar, but they're not doing the exact same thing. This to me feels like the initial years of your life. Like we had the birth where people are on the ground in that position, curled up. They started to move, and now they're starting to kind of piece things together. There's a flow to it that's very similar with the other people, but it's not exactly the same.
Don't live your life like you have 1,000 years. Ready for you to waste your time on regret.
And don't think that that water was not a symbol. Come on. Right here. Water, we know this symbolically. Water represents life. So when we see these shots of them in the water or near the water, that holds a real strong symbolic significance.
On regret, don't you ever, you'll never.
This shot here, I thought it could be coincidence, but to me, this talks about reflection. Yes, the water is there, but this song is also very reflective. So I could see that this is shown for that reason of, if you're going to be able to even begin taking steps to reacquire that imagination or find that level of freedom in some way, the only way to do that is to be reflective, to be introspective and kind of get into yourself and figure out what is blocking me from, at least when I want to, having this level of freedom. Wow, and there was another shot which I want to hit just because it could be nothing, but I thought it was pretty interesting. I feel like we're starting to return here. We go from the woods, the purity, the nakedness, the stripped down, and now we're starting to return to real life, like, which I think there's something to that. Obviously, as adults, you can't live like a child. You still have to have responsibilities. You're still going to have days when you have to pay your bills and go to your job, and you're going to have bad days. But in some sense, we should be able to, at some point, when we need to, be able to kind of escape. And I know for some of you, us doing this is a level of escapism. And I get that. I do the exact same thing. This is a level of escapism for me. This shot right here. We have the subject stripped down in the water, shows life. You see this tree in the reflection right here, shows growth from that initial stage of life. But we also have this right here, this dead branch. This whole shot in its own is talking about this circle of life. That's pretty deep for one shot. But I think that shot really speaks to the message of them saying in the lyrics, don't live like you have 1,000 years. What an amazing video and song. Does anybody know which album that was on? I think I've had on my list that I wanted to listen to Heal. Oh, is that on Heal? Oh, wow. Okay, so I think that might have to be one of the albums that we check out one night. Yeah. Because I've heard so many good things about Heal. Now, also, that would not be like a side channel thing. If we're gonna break down Heal, we're gonna do it the way it deserves. We're gonna really crack into it. I hope you enjoyed that.